Darling, it ain't my fault that you can't handle what you're dishing. Yeah, what you're dishing out. Keep on running that style and you'll soon find out what you're missing. Yeah, girl, you're missing out. 'Cause I don't care if you bother.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Nee and today I will be doing a tutorial on how to make this dress right here. I hope you can follow along to this project and enjoy my new hobby with me. This is the template that I created for this dress. So for example, whatever number you get for your waist, divide that by 4 and add 2 centimeters to it, and that will be the size of your cutout. Do the same for the hip, then connect the waist to the hip, and then you can just measure straight down from there. So right here, the number in pink are my measurement. I know all of this seems confusing, so if you have any question on where to measure yourself or where numbers are coming from, feel free to leave me a comment and I'll be happy to answer you. Now that we got the technical stuff out of the way, I'm starting off by folding the piece of fabric with the frayed edges facing me, then measure 2 centimeters from the edge. Now place the back piece on top of the fabric. Now trace the cutout of your bottom piece on the fabric. Before you start cutting, mark 2 centimeters of space all around the outline. Remember, you already did that for the frayed edge in the beginning, so you don't have to do that again. Start cutting. Once you're done, you should end up with 2 pieces for the back side. Now transfer the marking to the back side of the fabric. Once you're done, make sure you label it as backside so you don't get it mixed up. Now we're gonna do the same thing for the front piece. Put that aside. Once you're done, then fold another section of fabric in half and trace the top piece. Make sure you leave at least 2 centimeters all around the outline. You're going to cut out 2 pieces for the top because we're going to be making a double layer. Here we're cutting out just long pieces of fabrics about 4 centimeters wide with diagonal ends. Now that we got everything cut out, it's time to get your sewing pants on. Let's start off with something easy. Place the string piece like how I have it in the video and sew a straight line to attach the pieces. You should end up with one long piece. Make sure all your sewing flaps are facing the same direction. Now fold the string pieces in half with the flaps on the outside. Make sure you have it folded flat down on both sides. Once that is done, cut off all of those threads and trim edges and leave at least 1 centimeter from the stitches. Once you get everything cleaned up and trimmed down, use a safety pin to flip the string inside out, and voila, you got the string piece done. Let's move on to the top piece. Before we get started on sewing the top piece, we're going to hand stitch the loops and the string to the top piece. You can just cut that out of the long string piece or make another shorter string for this part. You're going to need 4 of them and then cut the long string piece in half. Make a mark at where the loops and the 2 long strings are going to be. I just marked right at the edge where I outlined on the fabric and went ahead and stitched it down. My original sketch only had 2 loops for the shirt, but I had to add 2 extra after I tried on the shirt because my boobs don't look like the model I sketched. Story of my life. Once you get done stitching those strings and loops down, go ahead and grab the other top piece and put it underneath the one you just worked on, with the strings sandwiched in the middle. Use some needles to hold the two pieces in place, and then you're going to sew on the outline that you made. Make sure to just sew the sides and top. We need the bottom open to flip the piece inside out later. Be sure to work slowly when you get to the string and the loop part. You want to sew them straight down but not break your needles. I'm speaking from personal experience because I broke 2 needles in the making of this. Now just cut and clean up the edges, again leaving at least 1 centimeter. Go ahead and flip the piece inside out, and then press the flap to the back layer of the shirt and sew it down on the outside. This doesn't have to be perfect, we just need it to hold the fabric in place. Right here, I'm showing the back side of the shirt. And you can see I didn't meet the stitch at the corners. No worries. Use your threading needle to thread all around the 3 edges of the shirt. We're doing this to hold it in place when we get to the serger. Now you've got your top piece completed. Let's put that aside and move on to the bottom piece. Remember the weird triangle that I had you draw on the skirt piece? You're going to need it now. Fold it at the middle line and sew the diagonal lines. I'm not sure what this is called, this is just how I learned. It helps give your skirt a better shape so that when you wear it, you don't just look like a box. And do this for the 1 front piece and 2 back pieces. And you should have something like this by the end of it. Okay, now let's iron everything down to make it easier to sew everything together. Once you get that done, we're moving on to the serger to seal everything. Here is an example of how it should look when you're done. Next up, put the 2 back pieces together with the right side facing each other and attach them. Then we're going to use the back piece that you just completed and put it on top of the front. I ended up adding a slit to one side of the skirt, so if you want to do that, just stop at your desired length. If not, just go ahead and sew it straight down. Next, use a threading needle to hold the edges down so you can seal it. Hand threading is not necessary, but this way your stitches will look nice and straight and a lot easier to sew. Once again, iron everything down and get to sewing. I apologize, it was really late, probably 1 a.m. by the time I was getting ready to finish up. I forgot to film me attaching the bottom and the top piece, but basically you just need to flip the skirt and place the top piece on it with the inside facing up and the top piece upside down so that the waist area meet each other. And then just sew them together. And then kabooza, you got yourself a dress! Trust me, it was not easy. This is a learning process for me too. This dress took me about 9 hours, give or take, of sewing and then taking off and then sewing again. But thank you so much for following along. I hope I can make more videos for you in the future. Stay tuned. Since this is my first YouTube video, I hope you guys can give me some feedbacks on the quality of my video, the aesthetic, what I should talk about, what I should do next. So don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you can stay updated on my next video.